in my heart that you would never find. See, niggas scared of their demons. I mean, freedom. No, we got Joe for a moment. I put the flyer. Friends of mine, I might have been the truth, but I never lied. I need something to feel alive when I'm dead inside. All my personal issues I'm learning to set aside. Cause I planted the seed and niggas came with pesticides. Give y'all my testimony, but never would testify. Well, buys lunch for the free with a single text. Bitch, I've been cold since the snotty nose. Since I was drinking tap water, I'm water hose. Since I was stealing shit from soldiers on these body clothes. Since I was robbing people houses, they got on the road. Shit, I was nine when I made the decision. I'm a ghost platinum like that's when I learned this ain't what's love you. But try to use you. Everybody's trying to win, so nobody proud when they use you. We had nothing in the crib.
Shalom, Israel. September 21st, 21. Rock with me. Rock with me. We're gonna go live. We're gonna go live in a moment. We're gonna get started. We'll have a little Bible study today. I ain't did one in a long time. So I'm gonna take a minute. Let some of y'all get in, get settled in. Get your Bibles. Get your Apocrypha. Get your Zonda Vance Bible Dictionary. Get your highlighters. Get your pencils. Get some notebooks. The cell phone app where you take notes. However you want to do this. We're going to rock with it. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody is doing well. Doing things a little bit different. So at some point during the show, I will invite some people on live with me if you want to do it. I hope that happens. Get your questions going. This is going to be a part 2 to the Stop Complaining. We really need to have this conversation. We really need to talk about it. There's a lot of complaining going on. Way too much complaining is going on. A lot of times it's complaining is robbing you from your progress. Y'all can't move forward because you're always looking backwards. So we're gonna talk about that. Definitely gonna talk about that. So just bear with me a couple of moments and I'm gonna get set up. Making sure everything is flowing good. So just bear with me.
Oh, I'm on here twice now. That's crazy.
Didn't want to do that. Ooh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. But that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I didn't mean to do it that way. That is kind of cool. So the link is in the descriptions, depending on which channel you may or may not be watching me on right now. So right now we simulcasting to V Speaks, to my regular Facebook page, and we're simulcasting also. Actually, let me double check. I think it's V Speaks, YouTube, and for the first time, Twitch. Let's see what's going on Twitch. Hope y'all doing good. So I want to be able to monitor this a little bit. So I'm not sure how to do it. Just bear with me. Because I've never used Twitch before. This is kind of a little test run. So just deal with me for a couple moments here. These are the growing pains, y'all. I'm working with 2 phones right now. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing this right. Bear with me. Okay, there we go. Boom. And I like that. Hey, let me call you back a couple minutes. I'm about to do a video. All right. All right. So I'll play with that later. I was thinking I got to get my podcast kit so I can really do it better. I thought I was going to be able to bypass that, but it's not doing it the way I want to do it, y'all. So how y'all doing? Your boy is back. It is V Ben Israel. I am the people's champ. I'm fighting for y'all every day, each and every day. I am fighting for y'all. So the name of today's broadcast is going to be Stop Complaining All the Damn Time, ladies. Jeez. Y'all just complain all the time. And I'm going to hurt some feelings tonight. I'm going to hurt some feelings. A lot of you going to think, oh, he talking about me. He going to think he talking about me. Somebody just texted me and said they was tired. Work all the time. Right? Even though I'm retired now, I know a lot about working. Anybody who worked with me, and there's a few of y'all on here over the years, tell them how I used to do 10, 12-hour shifts, go sleep in the car for an hour, come back in and do 4 more. Tell them. Then go home and deal with 4 kids. Tell them. Then go home and run multiple side businesses. Tell them. So I really don't want to hear that I'm tired all the time. I've done it. Y'all always telling me how y'all are such strong black women. Okay? Well, Big Mama ain't complaining. Ever. I've never, ever heard my grandmother complain. She raised 5 of her kids, 2 of her grandkids, put us all through college, cooked every day, house stayed clean, had a regular job, and she supervised over 400 or 500 people underneath her. Grew her own food, took care of her husband, was active in the community, never complained, not once. It's time to stop complaining, ladies. Some of y'all fellas too, but it's mainly y'all ladies. So that's why I'm speaking tonight. Speaking to y'all tonight. So this is going to be a little bit of Bible study in here, because I want to show you from a biblical standpoint that you're not supposed to complain. And we're going to address some of that behavior that leads to that. All right. So I want y'all to take this personal as a personal attack on you. This correction is because I love y'all. Correction is love. When a person loves you, they try to correct you. Just like you love your kids and you see your kids acting up, you ain't going to not correct them because you love your children. It's the same way when you loving your brother, you loving your sister, your neighbor. It's the same way because that's what makes the community stronger. That we correct some of these issues that we got. And the problem is we haven't been. We've been just accepting bullshit. And y'all got so used to these simp men that's simping to y'all. They'll tell you anything you want to hear. Also, they won't tell you what you need to hear. They'll keep it from you. Those are the ones you got to watch. But see, y'all like what you like. And that's what y'all roll to all the time. What you like ain't always what's good for you. Think about it as you're preparing a meal, right? Excuse me, these lights is a little bright. It's like I put my shades on because y'all know my eyesight got problems with my eyes. So don't think I'm trying to be cool when I wear my shades. They are prescriptive. But don't take this as attack. It's medicine, but sometimes medicine ain't gonna taste good, but it's gonna be good for you, right? So just rock with me. But y'all got so accustomed over the last 50, 60 years, people just telling you feel-good stories. And they destroying you. They destroying you. I didn't even put that in my notes, but that's the scripture. I'll bring that out a little bit later on. Right? So again, like I said, if y'all wanted to go live with me, there is a link in the description. All you gotta do is click that, and I will get to that a little bit later on in the show. But I'm gonna rock my monologue for a little while because I want to bring this out. Okay. Forgive me about my fan. I don't know how it sounds to y'all. I don't know if it's too loud, but this fan feel good right now, so it's staying on. Y'all gonna rock with me, I hope. If you do, well, I'll come back to that. Okay. So I'm gonna open with Philippians 2:14, right? Chapter 2, verse 14. Do all things without murmurings and disputings. So what is God saying here? Stop complaining. Do all things without murmurings. The murmurings. That's I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I work all the time. Because a lot of times when I talk to y'all, you're not doing anything about it. There's 24 hours in a day, sister. You're not working 24 hours. Some of you don't even have kids. I'm like, what is going on? Why are you exhausted? Do your 8 hours? Because that's really what most of you are doing. But, if you got a nursing job, you may be doing 12 hours, 3 or 4 days a week or whatever. But that means you got three days off. I know how it works. So get your rest when you off. But we're going to come back to that. See, a lot of you are busybodies, and that learned behavior prevents you from resting when you're supposed to be resting. You up playing on your phone. You got 10 or 12 dudes texting you, so you're trying to keep up with the conversations. You got to let some of that go. You're out of order. So all of those things are preventing you from resting. Right? We're going to go precept on precept. So Philippians 4:11, right? Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewithin to be content. Stop complaining about what you don't have. Stop complaining about the things you don't have. There's a lot of people out here that don't have what you have. They don't have an apartment. They don't have a job. They don't have a car. Learn to be content with what the things that you do have, because easy come, easy go. Those things can get taken away. So be content. Stop complaining all the time. Life is going to be, I told this to somebody, I think about a month ago. You know this world is going to throw obstacles at you, right? You know that's going to happen. It's a given. So prepare for it. Every day, wake up and say, I'm ready, world, for whatever you want to throw at me. Just bring it. I'm ready for the bullshit on my job. Just bring it. I'm ready for that BS co-worker that's going to aggravate you. Just bring it. I'm ready for these calls that I got to take. Just bring it. I'm ready for these aggravating patients that I got to deal with. Just bring it. These clients, just bring it. Whatever is coming at you, these is only normal life struggles. Just bring it. Just bring it. Christ warned us that the world hated him. So what you think they're going to do to you? Just bring it. He didn't complain every day about, he was going from town to town trying to gather us back together. And the Pharisees was constantly coming at him. He ain't complain. He knew it was going to happen. He didn't complain. He didn't go, oh, God, here they go again. I'm so tired. I'm going to take a day off. And he knew he was slowly walking towards his death. And he still did it. For y'all who claim to be followers of Christ. Claim to be a follower of Christ, but you don't understand what that means. Because you bought into the idea of what Esau told you that means to be Christ-like, to be submissive to your master. That's what they taught you. Every day is a fight. You're preparing for war. That's what we're preparing for. Christ is coming back to a standing army. You got to be ready to defend this gospel. Ready to stand and defend it. It's a war coming. All of the nations are going to rise against him. Us. What have you all been reading? What Bible y'all been reading? Y'all think y'all gonna skip over that part and go straight to heaven? Go straight to the kingdom. Right? You're gonna skip over the war and go straight to the reward. Because see, that's what Esau told you. That's not what the Bible says. Patience and long suffering. Long suffering. That's the key word. Stop complaining. It was prophesied. You're gonna go through long suffering. Be patient. We in the last days, y'all. It's time to get yourself together. Grace is running out. Grace is only a time. If you call your bill collector and ask them for a grace period, you still got to pay that bill. It's only a finite amount of time. That's what Christ gave us. He gave us extra time. So we could do what? So we can repent. So we can transform ourselves. Repent according to what? What does it mean to repent? To put yourself in order. In order according to what? The laws, the commandments. See, Esau don't want you to do that. That's why they've been teaching you I think I'm back now. I'm sorry. A little technical difficulty, y'all. My I don't know, my phone just all right. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep getting kicked out of my studio. I don't know why that happened. I'm not touching her. Let me just make sure they ain't gonna do it again. I'm trying to do makeshift setup real quick right now, so I don't know why I did that. I've never had that happen before. Fully charged. Just gonna give it a minute. Somebody is messaging me too. I got people calling me. Everybody always wants to call me. Okay, that's Peter. Peter, if you watching, I see your text. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. I hope you're watching live. Peter's an old friend of mine, y'all. Y'all probably haven't heard me mention that name before. Me and Peter went to VLD together, known each other since 7th grade. The best bass clarinet player I've ever heard. That man was amazing and a phenomenal dancer. He was like, Carlton from the Fresh Prince before the Fresh Prince. Peter could dance his ass off. Probably still can. Sharp dressing too. Man, Peter could dress. Good brother. Good brother. Got to reach out to him. I ain't talked to him in years. It seems like whatever I was doing, I'm not doing anymore. So I don't know if I hit the wire. I don't know what I did. So we're gonna keep it moving forward. So do all things without murmurings and disputings. It's the complaining, people. Gotta let it go. That's a commandment, by the way. That's one of the 613. That's what they taught you in black church. Black church told you it was only 10 commandments and you ain't got to follow them, right? But yet you got to pay the tithes, which is Old Testament. But we ain't gonna follow nothing else from the Old Testament, except give me that money. Even though the Old Testament says tithing was never about money and it never went to the church. Isn't that funny? Why y'all paying your tithes every doggone Sunday? Please explain to me that. By the way, Sunday's the first day of the week, not the 7th. So, See, Esau was the author of confusion. It changed everything up. Everything that went opposite of what the Bible says, what God said. God said, rest on the 7th day. Esau said, nah, rest on the first day. See? To keep us in sin, because as long as we stay in sin, he stays in rulership he's ruling his earth. He has his heaven. That's what y'all got to realize. It's his heaven. Right? But as the book of Revelation tells us, book 14 tells us that Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob, that's us, is the beginning of the world to come. That's the world we want. Stop clinging to this world, y'all. Y'all be trying to save this world. This world ain't for us. Not this one that Esau built for himself. We want the kingdom. We want what was promised to us. But we got to come back to God. Start keeping them commandments. Listening, because Everything that's happening to us is explained in the Bible. I just explained complaining to you. A lot of y'all didn't know that because Pastor Porkchop ain't going to tell you that. He ain't going to tell you to stop complaining. He going to tell you what you like to hear, ladies, because he wants to get that money out. Just like the white man did it. The black pastors who were put in place by the white man going to do the same formula. They're going to tell you whatever's going to make you feel good. So you keep that money flowing. They're going to talk buttery smooth, soft as oil to you. Right? They ain't gonna read certain scriptures. They ain't gonna tell you the truth because they don't know the truth. All they know is what Master told them to do. Buttery smooth. Tell that woman with 5 kids and 5 different baby daddies, she ain't did nothing wrong and she's an angel and them kids is the blessing and all that other stuff, right? That's what Pastor Porkchop is going to tell you. Because why don't you keep bringing that money in? Well, the white Esau's the same way. White man the same way. Same formula. Isn't it funny how the black church follows the same exact formula? And they all the same. I don't care who church it is. It's the Bible says, follow none of his ways. None. That includes black church. Black church was set up by the white man. None of his ways. It was said that for a reason. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil. Yet were they drawn swords. Right? Listen to what God is telling you. Look, listen. Write it down. Psalms 55:21, King James Version. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. War, war, war. Listen to what God is telling you, ladies. Stop. Y'all love niggas to tell y'all whatever you want to hear. God is telling you to run from that shit. Because the man who loves you is going to tell you what you need to hear. He going to give you vegetables, not junk food. He going to give you that nutritious meal. You ain't going to necessarily like it all the time, but it's healthy for you. It's going to bring that gut down. He going to tell you, get in the gym for your own health. Being 5'5" and 300 pounds is not sexy, ladies. It's unhealthy. You're going to start having back problems as you get into your 40s and 50s. You're going to start having diabetes and other issues. I'm trying to save you. Having health issues is no joke. It's no joke. But obesity causes a lot of it. Obesity causes a lot of it. His words were smoother than butter, but in his heart, but war was in his heart. That's God talking to you. All right? Let's keep moving through the lesson. I was going to have a reader, but I'm going to battle through it on my own. I kept putting it off. I was supposed to do this one a couple of days ago, so I apologize if you have been waiting for it. And I was taking notes on top of notes. And I said, you know what? I got to stop this. I got to get this out. I got to get this one out because this will go on forever and ever and ever. All right? All right, we at Hebrews 5:11 through 5:12, KJV, of whom we have many things to say and hard to be uttered, seeing ye are dull of hearing. You always got something to say, but you can't quite put it in words. Oh, what was the word I was looking for? But you won't listen. You dull. You're dull of hearing. You won't listen. You need to be listening instead of trying to utter shit that you don't even know what you're talking about. That's a lot of y'all. Because you got a couple of scriptures in your head from Pastor Porkchop. You think you know what you're talking about. You don't know. You don't have understanding. Listen. Listen ain't gonna hurt you. You don't agree with it after you listen to it? Fuck it. Go on your way. Do what you want to do. But you might learn something. Because most of y'all who go to church, you don't know what tribe you're from. What tribe? You ain't no Christian. That's what the white man called you. When it got convenient for him. He invented the white Jesus during the Renaissance. But he didn't give it to you until the 1800s when it became profitable. And to help keep y'all niggas in line here in the new world. So what happened all of them hundreds of years ago? Why did they deny you the gospel all of them hundreds of years? Did that make sense to you? Come on now, rock with me. Preaching to somebody on the left side, in the back. Let him who has ears hear. Dull of hearing. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. Y'all hear me say that all the time. You need milk, not meat. Some of y'all be wondering, you're asking questions that you ain't ready for. I told y'all you got that spirit of Eve. You want to know things you ain't got no business knowing. You got to focus on the basics first. And then understanding is going to come to you gradually. You're in first grade trying to understand algebra. You ain't got math down yet. You ain't got addition or subtraction down yet. The Bible is the same way. There's a way to get understanding out of the Bible. Most of you don't even know how to read the Bible for understanding. You don't understand that the Bible defines itself. But that's why y'all get confused, because you try to put today's definition of words into the Bible. The Bible was translated in 1611. Some of these words meant different things in 1611, people. So you got to go back and get the understanding and get the context of when it was translated. Not make up your own shit. See, y'all think love is an emotion. But the Bible teaches love is actions. You got to do something. And those actions lead to more understanding. You don't get the understanding without the actions. Your prayers are an abomination without the understanding. God ain't even listening to you. So all your prayers are in vain. They're vain thoughts, as God calls them, vanity. Unearned rewards. That's what vanity is. You're giving yourself rewards for something you have not earned. Y'all think you're entitled. Oh, I deserve to have my prayers heard. No, God said you got to earn that privilege. You got to put in some work. Otherwise, your prayers are an abomination. Look it up. If you need a script, contact me. I'll give you the script. Not part of this lesson. Right? For when the time ye ought to be teachers. There is a time. Some of you try to teach before your time. You're not built up enough in the word. You don't have no spiritual fortitude yet. You don't have enough tools in your toolbox yet, but you're out here trying to teach. It's kind of like a driver's license. Y'all remember when you first got your driver's license? You ran around trying to show everybody your driver's license. You let everybody know, anybody who had a car, you let them know you had a driver's license. Somebody who's been driving for years, you probably never even seen their driver's license. They may not even have one. You just assume they do. The truth is that way too. Some of y'all, you first start getting a little bit of the truth, you want to run around and show everybody, oh, I know this and I know that, and I think I understand the scripture. I'm going to go teach. I'm going to go on Facebook and make some posts. And you don't know what you're talking about. Be quiet. Listen and learn in silence. You got to be weaned from the breasts. You got to get that milk, that basics understanding before you get the higher stuff, and before you get into a position when you can teach, when you can edify. Otherwise, what you're doing is corrupt communication. That's a commandment too. We're not supposed to do that. Corrupt communication, people. Right? For the time, there is a time. The Bible speaks of seasons and time. That goes for you too. You have a time. Some of you are behind the clock because you're at a physiological age, but you're not at a spiritual age. You're not built up spiritually yet. You're behind where you should be. That's okay. That's okay. You got time right now to build yourselves up. But what's the next part of that, right? Listen good. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again. Somebody got to teach you. You can't learn on your own. That's what y'all think. The Bible says, lean not on your own understanding. Somebody has to teach you. Somebody got to guide you, just like in school, people. When you go to school, they don't just throw a book at you and walk away and expect you to teach yourself. No, there is a teacher in the classroom with you. Anytime you're in the classroom, there is a teacher guiding that learning process. But y'all tell yourselves, no, I'm smart because I have a smartphone. Even though I was an average student, I was a C student all my life. But now I got a smartphone. I'm a fucking genius. And I'm going to do against what the principles of what the Bible says we're supposed to do. I'm reading it to you now. You have need that someone teach you again. That one teach you again. Because God's going to show me and I'm going to pray. No, I already told you. Your prayers ain't even being heard if you ain't keeping the commandments. Y'all don't understand the parent-to-child relationship. That's the relationship we're in with God. He ain't going to reward you if you breaking his rules, no more than you will reward your children if they were breaking the rules of your house. You got certain rules in your house, and you tell your children to follow those rules. And if your children are breaking all of your rules, you ain't going, oh, okay, let me get this new PlayStation. No, you're going to put them on punishment. You're going to whoop them. You're going to put them in order. Well, that's where we are now. We're getting our whooping. Blessed are they who hear the word and keep it. You ain't blessed if you ain't following these commandments and keeping them. You can't have faith without works. Faith without works is death. See, Pastor Porkchop ain't gonna tell you that because he want to get that money from you. But I'm the people's champ. I ain't asked you for nothing. All I asked you, correction. All I asked y'all to do, oh, come on now. Did it bleep out again? No, it didn't. It's still there. Cool. All I asked you to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like and share my videos. Subscribe so I can get in that algorithm. Subscribe, people. Let's go ahead and do that now. Go subscribe. It takes, 20 seconds to go to YouTube? If you're not already there, click the like button, hit subscribe. That's all I'm asking for. I ain't asking for no money. I want to get in on the algorithm. Because I got people on the YouTube talking about they invented this. They the leaders in the forefront. And haven't I been doing this for over a decade? Didn't I not write books on these topics in high school? Have I not been talking about this the whole time? Go back and look at my posts. Some of you talk to me. Y'all know I've been talking like this before Kevin Samuels, before O'Shea Duke Jackson, before any of these people. The lawyer, what's his name? Dennis Schrilling. The dudes that was beefing out, I don't even know. I don't keep up with them. The men's viewpoint before any of them. And I like these people. I'm not taking shots at them. I think the conversation, I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad more people are talking like me finally. But I've been doing this for a long time, people. That's why I'm the people's chair. I've been fighting for y'all for a long time. Some of y'all remember me in high school. Right? Some of y'all remember. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Some of y'all own my books. Y'all read my writings over the years. You read my poetry. Ye have need that one teach you again. Meaning you have to be taught again. Whatever you were taught was not correct. It was lies. Follow none of their ways. Follow none of the oppressor's ways. That's where all religion comes from. All religion, I don't care what denomination, what religion. It's all with orthodoxy, I don't care. It all comes from people who oppressed us throughout history. And the Bible tells us to follow none of their ways. All I'm doing is reading the Bible, y'all. That's all I'm doing. Get mad? You want to get mad? Get mad at God, okay? Send him an email. Write him a letter. Get mad at him. Don't leave me no comments on that. All I'm doing is reading what's there, what's been there for thousands of years. All right? Like and share, people. Like and share wherever if you're on Facebook. Am I blowing up again? Hey, give me a couple minutes. I'm in the middle of a live video. All right. I'm sorry, people. I told y'all, I've been here all day. I think I've been on the phone one time today for the most part. As soon as I do these videos, that's what people want to call me. It's all good. It's all good. You have need that one teach you again. You have to be taught over. You got to put, and this goes along the precept for that. Line for line, precept must be upon precept, line upon line. A little bit here and a little bit there. So a precept for that is Christ himself. He's telling you, you must transform yourself. That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to get into the kingdom, he said. You got to come to me in a childlike state, like these little children. Okay? He didn't mean transform yourselves into a baby physically. He's talking about your mentality. You got to put yourself in a childlike state. So what you think you know, forget about it. Forget about it. Right? Forget about it. I'm losing my Jersey accent. I can't do it like I used to. Forget about it. Come on, Jersey people. That sound authentic, or I ain't got it no more. Got to get the milk, y'all. Y'all be trying to get that meat too much. And I understand, like I told y'all, that's that spirit that Eve had on her. Nothing is new under the sun, the Bible teaches us. Nothing is new under the sun. What's that? I don't know what pop up that was. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't think it was important. But anyway, I thought it had something to do with this streaming service. I'm using StreamYard. Nothing is new under the sun. That's what the scriptures tell us. That includes spirits. Okay? So that spirit that Eve had is still on the earth today. Nothing is new under the sun. So, sisters, you got to check yourselves. You want to know things before you're ready to know things. And that's why you can't accept counsel. Somebody be telling, especially from a black man, we be telling you what's right, what's good for you. And y'all will argue, it's but. And you be getting yourselves fucked up and twisted up. A friend of mine broke up with a boyfriend. After they broke up, I told her, change the PIN numbers on your cards. That's what I told her. Within 2 days, he had stole money off a card using her PIN number. Didn't listen to me. Because y'all can't be quiet and listen. You always got to respond. Stop responding. Listen and learn in silence. And follow counsel. Follow instructions. I ain't had no dog in the fight. I'm showing you love, baby. Change the PIN numbers on your. Sometimes you can do it right from your app, or you can turn your card off. And I know I got a couple of cards I can just turn them off from within the app. But if you don't have that, change the PIN number, and that would have saved her a couple $100 that she needed to pay bills with. Some of y'all just hard-headed. You just got to disputings. Remember at the beginning, the first in Philippians? Your murmurings and disputings. Yeah, see, it's all tying together now, right? I don't know what got me sneezing all of a sudden. But that's what, y'all got to learn how to follow instructions. You ain't got to agree. Y'all think y'all got to agree with every damn thing. No, just follow instructions. You ain't going to agree. We're wired differently. You're not meant to agree with us and like everything we tell you. We're wired differently for a reason. Going back to Adam and Eve. Adam was given the wisdom, not Eve. That's that spirit, that breath, that was breathed into Adam, not into Eve. That was understanding and wisdom that was put inside of Adam, not in Eve. Eve had to get it by being taught by Adam. But she had that spirit. She wanted to know things and do things before she was ready. She wanted to be equal to get to God, to the Most High, to Adam, because Adam was a god at that point. He was immortal. Right? She wanted to be equal. Eve wasn't equal to Adam. She was made for Adam. If somebody gives you a car, that car is for you. That car is not equal to you. That's your car. It's to help you get to work, help you get where you got to school. Eve was made to help Adam. That's the hierarchy. See, the gynocracy and feminism and the gynocracy that y'all have created tells you everything is a vote and is a committee. And we all got to agree and like everything. No, it was never that way. It was always a hierarchy. Somebody is in charge. Somebody is ahead of you in the hierarchy. You got to follow instructions. That's why we're out of order. But you follow this hierarchy everywhere else, except in the black community. That's when it becomes a problem. Y'all claim y'all love us, but you won't listen to us. Love is actions. You want men to lead, but you won't follow. And then, well, how do I know he's a good leader? Well, what we do know is you are a bad leader. And we have 60 years of history to prove it. It's not a slight, these are facts. The community has gotten worse since women started leading it. Every category has gotten worse. Just look around. I don't care what your feelings are. Look around. Look at the data, the facts, data, and statistics, and use observable reality. Look at all these kids that these guns. I think my sister was telling me it was like 3 or 4 situations in schools around the country today. That's the kids that y'all are raising. Emotional little boys. Effeminate little boys. Bitch-like. Y'all made them. The Bible said you would. Menstruous women bring forth monsters. Right? Y'all don't be believing me, man. Y'all don't know this Bible. Y'all don't know this Bible. Let me get that. That wasn't even in my notes. Let me get that for y'all real quick. Y'all think God don't know his people. So, let me do it easy. Menstruous women bring forth monsters. So I'm going to need you to either open up your 1611 Bibles, which is what you should have, or I need you to open up your Apocrypha. Okay? King James Version Bible, 1611. 2nd Esdras, 5 and 11. I mean, this might not be the one. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold that. Not the one. I don't know how I brought that one up. Oh, snap. Yeah, I think it's this one. I think it's 5 and 8. Hold on a minute. Yes. 2nd Esdras, 5 and 8 through 10. That's where I wanted to be. I was close, y'all. All right. There shall be a confusion also in many places. This is a prophecy that's true today. We're living in this time right now. Okay? Listen good. Listen good. And I appreciate y'all rocking with me, whoever's here. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Please do that now while I'm reading. 2nd Esdras 5 and 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places. And the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. I think I'll be lying, right? This guy telling y'all what's happening today. Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And guess what? That goes into these women who themselves were brought forth by menstruous women, so they're monsters too. Okay? So now we got monsters raising monsters. They're killing their kids. They're chopping them up and putting them in blenders and chopping them up and putting them in freezers and drugging them. And the little girls was holding each other. That's how they found the little girls. She drugged her own kids, y'all. They were holding each other. They found the little girls dead, holding each other. Because mama didn't want to give the babies to daddy. He was winning in court. He was about to get custody of the girls in court. Do y'all know how hard it is for a man to win in family court in any state? You know how fucked up the mother got to be? But see, y'all co-sign a lot of that shit from each other. Y'all co-signed it. They knew that girl was fucked up and shouldn't have had them kids, her family, her friends. You don't hide that level of dysfunction where the courts see it. Because, the courts be on the black woman's side most of the time. So for the courts to turn against you, you're way out of order. Way out of order. Her family knew she shouldn't have had them kids. They knew it. But they was probably sticking up for it, and she ain't that bad, and she a good mama, and he ain't shit, and all of that bullshit stories, cliches, all of that cap, because that's what it is, it's cap, because the facts, data, and statistics showed something different when it come to black men. So this black man had his shit together like the facts, data, and statistics say most of us do. She was out of order, like the data statistics say most of them are. He was able to prove it in court. Instead of giving that man them kids, because he was about to win in court, she killed them, drugged them, and they laid in bed. They found the little girls laying in bed holding each other. You know how traumatic what them little girls must have gone through? That their mama was killing them? They knew it. What about the little boy that his mama shot him in the head twice? Huh? See, y'all act like we don't know. We don't talk about this stuff. Cause see, MSNBC ain't gonna tell you this. Uncle Joe, good old Uncle Joe, ain't gonna go on TV and talk about this. Just like Obama wouldn't talk about it, even though some of these things was happening in his city, in Chicago. The little boy got shot in his head twice, was in Chicago, if I remember correctly. And little girls that got chopped up and put in the freezer was in Chicago too, a couple years ago. Where was Obama and Michelle then? Y'all love them motherfuckers, right? But he sure came out and stood up for, vote for Joe, and Joe gonna look out for us, right? He stood up for Joe though, right? Y'all don't hear me. Y'all love Obama, that Hamite. He ain't Judah, he's a Hamite. But y'all so quick to call anybody who got dark skin black. You don't know your heritage. You don't know your history. It was taken from you. That's what the Bible tells us. That's the curse. So it's time to come back to it now. It's time to learn what somebody's trying to teach you. That's why you got confusion. And that's like these smooth talking niggas like, what's his name? Umar Johnson. Uncle Umar. Y'all queen, mother, goddess of the earth bullshit. And he into polygamy now, right? That's what he think of y'all as a queen. Because I don't remember no queens in history that was participating in polygamy. Unless I'm wrong. I could be wrong, though. I'm a student of history. You know, I miss some things every now and then. Let me take a quick break, y'all. I need some water because this soda that I was drinking is horrible. So I'm gonna take a little brief interlude. While I'm doing that, please like, share, subscribe. Let your boy. We doing it for the algorithm, please. I'm asking y'all. That's all I'm asking y'all. I'll leave y'all a little music in the meantime. I ain't gonna just leave y'all out here. I ain't gonna leave you out here. You know, I'm gonna give you something to work with while I'm gone. Need a little something to work with, you know. Umar Johnson, that's a funny ass nigga, you know. Took all that money from y'all blind asses. LeBron built a school in less than a year. Jalen Rose built a school in less than 6 months. Right? Umar Johnson been working on the school for how many years now? He done collected how many hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yeah, that's the art of hustle. That nigga hustle y'all. He hustles y'all. Y'all fell for it. Get that through your brain. Oh, the war nigga, not the art of hustle nigga. You looking for the Goonies, but I'm the muscle nigga. Love to get y'all killed. Y'all love Umar. He took y'all money. He robbed y'all without a gun. But y'all want to talk shit about sending $2 to Kevin Samuels. The man is working his ass off trying to wake up y'all. But you won't even send a man $2. Working way harder. You ain't see Umar work 5 days a week ever. Ever. We gotta take care of them 2 wives he got now. That's better. That's better, y'all. Mic check 1 2 1 2. How I sound? Shout out to Flavor God. They stay sending me coupons. I'm gonna have to order something from them one day. Flavor God, shout out. They do seasons and spices and stuff. I don't know how good they are. Somebody check them out. Shout out to Dr. T. Hassan. Shout out, brother. Shout out to Crimson Cure. Sister be dropping it. She be bringing that fire. Y'all better start watching her videos. I share them all the time. Sister be bringing that fire. Talking about the hyenas. That's what we're going to start calling them, y'all. That's the new word. We ain't calling them thoughts no more. We calling them hyenas. Where was I? Monsters. Mistress women bring forth monsters. So the monsters have made monsters of their own. It's like gremlins, you know. You get them wet, they make more. Same shit happened. reverse this fan. I think it's blowing something in from outside. They got me sneezing. Let me push that air out. Menstruous women bring forth monsters. God's words. You ain't meant to be single mamas, ladies. That's what the Bible is talking about. Because you create monsters, your children. And then they bring forth monsters. And they kill their kids. They shoot him in the head twice. That boy was shot in his head twice over an SD card. An SD card. The little boy he's like 12 years old. He's telling his mother, I don't know what you're talking about. She pulled out a gun and put the gun to his damn head and was interrogating him. Right? She was interrogating him. And he still is saying, Mama, could just imagine, visualize this. Somebody got a gun to your head asking you about something you don't know about. He don't know about the SD card. She got the gun to his head, though. This is how crazy this woman was. Then she shoots him in the head. Then walks away, makes a couple of phone calls, not one, didn't call the ambulance either. She made a couple of phone calls, came back over to him and shot him again in his head. Menstruous women bring forth monsters. It's a monster that did that. That's what that was. That was a monster that did that. The Bible is a true book. It's telling you what's happening here in the last days. Some of y'all ain't gonna wake up. I'm fine. I'm comfortable with that. Only 1/3 of us are gonna wake up. I ain't trying to wake all of y'all up. I could care less about some of you. Love you, but I'm gonna love you from a distance. I do my job. My job is to bring this word. I'm gonna bring it out. You either hear or you don't. Christ said his people will hear his voice. So when these words start coming out, if you're paying attention, that tells you who you are. If you're one of the ones that, I don't want to hear that, and turn your ears away from it, that tells you who you are. You better get right. That's what grace is. That's that time period to fix your shit. Because when Christ come back, he ain't playing no games. He ain't playing with you. He come back with a sword. All of the nations are going to rise against them, and they're all going to fall. And a lot of y'all are going to fall with them. Everybody got to stand before. Everybody's going to see Christ, and everybody's going to stand before him. You got to explain yourself and your actions. You can't go, but he did this and but that, and he ain't hearing none of that. What did you do? Why did you do what you did? Some of you start thinking it like that, that'll change some of the decisions you make. You'll be nasty and mean to people for no damn reason. Over a biscuit. Cussing people out over biscuits. Well, because you had a bad day. Well, because you just wanted to push your weight around on somebody. Whatever you're doing. You think it's cute. You think it's funny. You got to answer for every word that comes out of your mouth. You're too busy worrying about me cussing. Worry about what comes out of your mouth. It ain't the cuss words that's the problem. It's that evil shit that's in your heart. That's going to condemn you. Let's move on. Hebrews 5:11 through 5:12 was the last one I read, by the way. Outside of the Esdras one. Y'all need milk. 1 Timothy 5:13. And withal, they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house. And not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. This the meat of this discussion today. So I want y'all to really pay attention because it's about to get real heavy for y'all. I'm about to break this down like you ain't never heard me break it before. It's gonna be the realest shit I ever wrote. 1 Timothy 5:13. And withal, they learn to be idle. Let's deal with that idle word. Another word of idle. See, y'all think y'all know words. Remember I told y'all, you got to go back and really study the words. Another word for idle is sloth. Idleness, sloth. Right? So let's get the definition. Let's get some more on sloth, right? A definition of sloth is spiritual apathy and inactivity. I don't know if y'all understand what I just said, how heavy that is. Listen to the Most High, what he's saying to you. Spiritual apathy. That's deep. Understand what apathy is. That's indifference. You don't love or hate, you just indifferent. You don't give a fuck, in other words. Right? What is spiritual? Spiritual is the law. Let me get that. Let me get that for y'all. Because I don't want there to be any confusion on what I'm saying here. Let me see if I got that in my notes. If not, I'm going to have to get that for y'all. Let me get that. It might not be in my notes. All right. No problem. No problem. No problem. No problem. Let's get spiritual. Let's get the definition of spiritual from the Bible. So let's see what God is talking about. See, y'all use these words, spiritual. I'm spiritual. Spiritual comes right out the Bible. Before the 18th century, before the 16th century, there was no word called spiritual. This word comes right out of the Bible, as far as the English language is concerned. Bear with me. There we go. We're in the book of Romans, people. I want y'all to follow along. This is one you want to take notes on, right? Romans 7:14. New Testament people. For y'all people, y'all church, your Bible thumpers, you Christians, right? Pay attention. Romans 7:14. For we know that the law is spiritual. For we know that the law is spiritual. So what is God saying here? Let's go back. Let's go back to the busybodies, right? Let's go back to Timothy. First Timothy 5:13. And withal, they learn to be idle. What is God saying you learn to do? You're learning to be slothful. Idleness, spiritual apathy. Apathy is indifferent to what? To the law. You're indifferent to the law. That's spiritual apathy. You're indifferent to God's laws. And you're inactive. You're not applying them. You're not practicing them. You're not keeping them. Okay? This is where this complaining comes from, because you're not keeping the laws. You're out of order. You're not in behavior. This is why you lead to frustrations. You don't have peace, right? That's what sloth is. I think I put in the description these notes, so I made it easy for y'all. You can copy and paste, save them, have whatever you want to do with them. And I put my notes in parentheses. Wandering wandering. Let's deal with wandering. To stray, to ramble, to err. That's what wander means. So, hey, I'm in the middle of doing a live video. Let me call you back. All right. So, I'm sorry, give me a second. So let's deal with err. What does err mean? Oh, another word for apathy is lack of interest or concern. You're not interested in the laws. You're not concerned with the laws. You're indifferent. You don't give a fuck. Right? Well, we know that the law is spiritual. I did have a note, 7:14, Romans. Right? Wander. Let's talk about that a little bit before I go to err. To move about without a fixed course. This is Webster's. Without a fixed course, aim, or goal. To go idly about. To ramble. This is how some of you talk. You ramble. You don't have no point to the story. You just start talking. Somebody asks you a simple question and you ramble. That's what this is going into. I'm going into the behavior. You're busybodies. That's what he's talking about. But listen to the words. This is what wander means. You ramble. To follow a winding course, to meander, right? To go astray as from a course. You're not on course. You're wandering away from the group because we're supposed to gather ourselves together, but you're astray. You're wandering away from the group. You won't gather with us. You want to study on your own. You want to do everything by yourself. You want to be single. You want to be independent, not with the group. There's protection in the group. Now let's get into that err. Err is a deep word, right? This is a deep part of it. This is the most important part of wander. The wander is to err, right? To lose normal mental contact, to stray in thought. That's what it means to err, to wander, to err. That's deep. Read it again. To lose normal mental contact. Something is off in your mental. Something ain't contacting what it's supposed to connect in. You ain't plugged in all the way. Stray in thought. This is again why y'all can't answer. Somebody asks you a question and y'all will turn right around and rephrase the question. How many times have y'all heard Kevin ask a question on his videos and the girl turn right around and rambles and rephrase the whole question and it be just a simple yes or no? That's what you could see the disconnect, the contact coming loose. You could see it live when he's talking to people. It's crazy. All right? Let's go back. Let's go back to the script. 1 Timothy 5:13. And withal, they learn to be idle, slothful, wandering about, erring, going astray, from house to house. Let's talk about that word house. See, some of you think you know what words mean. Listen to your boy, Mr. English, Mr. Published Author. I know a little something about words, y'all. House don't mean what you think it means in this context. So let me give you some deeper understanding of the word house. House, right? I'm just going to Webster's. I'm using a regular dictionary. House means a shelter. We know that. It also means your household, and it means your family. So what are these people doing? They're going from house to house. They're going from family member to family member with their crazy mental, their strayed thoughts. Does this sound familiar? Am I describing somebody you know? House. Remember, in the house, in old times, people describe their families. My last name would be, I'm from the house of Johnson or the house of McKay. That's how you identified your family. Some of you seen Game of Thrones, House Dothraki or whatever the hell it was. You know, that's what they were talking about. So house ain't just a physical shelter. It's also people in your household. It's your family. They go from house to house, right? What are they doing when they're airing and they're strained, right? With their crazy mentality and their slothfulness. What are they doing when they go to house? Let's find out. This story is getting deeper. I hope y'all enjoying it. And not only are they idle, not only are they slothful, not only are they spiritually apathetic, is what God is saying here. Not only, but they're also tattlers. Oh, this is what they're doing. They're telling your family members your business. That's what they do. They're telling your friends, your family, anybody in your household, or in you connected with. Because sometimes your family ain't necessarily your blood family. It's your close friends. They telling everybody your business. We know, matter of fact, Crimson Cure was talking about this just today on her video. They tell your business. We all know this person. You can identify that aunt. Sometimes it might be the matriarch in your family. It might be your mama. It might be your grandmama, granddaddy, your uncle. It could be anybody, but you know who they are because I'm painting this picture and it's starting to be clear for you, right? It's starting to make sense, isn't it? Right? And I know I said isn't it. I said it on purpose. I know the word is isn't it. But I'm speaking to a certain group of people. Leave me alone. I got poetic license here. I got a right to do what I do. I done paid my dues. Let's talk about tattlers. Because that word is deep too. Let's get Webster's on that, right? A tattler. I'm gonna give you some synonyms for tattler. They're a betrayer, a canary, a deep throat, a fink, an informant, an informer, a narc, a rat, a snitch, a snitcher, a squealer, a stool pigeon, a stoolie. I'm not reading them all. A whistleblower, a tale bearer, a tattletale. Right? You know these people because they've been this way all their lives. They can't hold water. They can't keep nothing. You could be throwing a surprise party for somebody and they'll let it out. They've been told the whole damn thing. But they got to tell something because their mental is not making the contact The plug ain't all the way in. The USB ain't plugged in their brain, right? They astray. They're spiritually apathetic. Huh? Oh, I love that word. Spiritual apathy. Huh? Spiritually indifferent to the laws of God. Right? Y'all ain't see all of this when you read. Some of you might have read this script before. You ain't see all of what I'm bringing out. You ain't see this. Right? Not only idle, but tattlers, tattletales, people, also busybodies. They meddle. They got the meddle and everything. That's what a busybody is. Let's go deeper in the busybody. Let's get some more of that. I'm giving y'all all the smoke. All of this I'm giving you. They meddle. They got to be involved in something. They can't be still. What y'all talking about? What you doing? What's going on over there in your house? Why are you worried about over here? I ain't heard from you in 6 months. And all of a sudden you worried about what's going on in my house? That's who these people are. Because they're looking for something to go tell somebody else. Right? Let's go to the book of Sirach, people. 11 and 10. This is the Apocrypha if you don't have a real Bible. My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. See, the people who meddle, they always want to play like they ain't do nothing wrong. Oh, I ain't do nothing. They've been stirred up a whole can of worms and bees, and they want to sit back and act like they ain't do shit. That's what this scripture is saying to you. You ain't going to be innocent if you meddling in everybody's business, going from house to house, meddling in much matters. Who I'm talking to back there in the back? Got your head down and shit. I brought all of this out because this is the characteristics, sisters, of a lot of you. This is why you're tired. You're meddling. You can't be still and rest and just be in your house. You got to go to your friend girl house. Stay away from them single women if you want to be married. If you want to have a relationship, that single women are going to keep you single. Grandma had how many men that she was dealing with? How many friends did grandma deal with? Her husband. Right? Am I right or wrong? Maybe around the holidays she dealt with a cousin or auntie or something. Grandma didn't talk to 10 and 15 men. She didn't have 5 or 10 girlfriends she was talking to. That wasn't how grandma rolled. Huh. Again, this goes back to the beginning with Eve. What was Eve's job? What was her job? To help Adam. But what does that mean? What was Adam doing? Well, God gave Adam a job. He had to go name all of the animals on the earth. That took a little while. So while he was off doing that, Eve was doing what? She was a keeper at home. She was keeping the house together, keeping the garden together, making sure they had something to eat when he came back, taking care of the house. House ain't always a shelter over your head. It's where you reside is a house as well. So they resided in the garden. She was taking care of the house. For those of you who are a little dense, okay? That was her job. to be a keeper at home, ladies. That's what you're commanded to do. You can't do that talking to 10, 15 dudes. You're bringing too much energy, different energies into your area, into your mental, and it's gonna have you all screwed up. Men don't always see eye to eye. Most of the time we don't. That's why we establish a hierarchy. Somebody's in charge. When it's a group of men, somebody's the boss. We ain't no committee vote. We all ain't agreeing. See, that again, that's feminism told you, oh, there's gonna be a consensus. No, there ain't no consensus with men. Somebody gonna be in charge, and we going this way. That's how men roll. Somebody is in charge. That's what the alpha is. He's gonna naturally, just by nature, take charge of the group. And I know what you're thinking, because see, you always want meat instead of milk. I'm giving you milk, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of meat right now. Well, what if there's two alphas? It's the most alpha of the alpha. Alpha, again, alphas ain't equal. So there's always going to be one alpha that's more alpha than the other. That's who everybody's going to follow. Kevin brings up that Bear Grylls Island season 2, and that's a perfect demonstration of this manifesting in real life. The men, in case you don't know, a group of men was put on the island. Group of women were put on the island. They had to survive for X amount of weeks. They were given basic tools and a little bit of water. And they were dropped off. They weren't even dropped off on the island. They were dropped off on the coast of the island. They had to swim to the island with their shit. The men got together immediately. The alpha stepped up, led them across the damn island, and they was building shelter by the end of the day. That's how it works. That's what men do. It don't take long. Throughout history, when Moses came down from the mountain, and before he started teaching, what did he do? He established a hierarchy. He put the men in order. He organized everybody by the house of their father, by the seed of their father. And then he established a hierarchy. Deacons, officers, captains, soldiers, brothers of 50, brothers of 10, brothers of 20, brothers of 30, then a captain, officer of 10, officer, and so forth. You always had somebody over you, because Moses didn't have time to deal with petty shit. He dealt with the big shit. That's what Moses and Aaron was doing. They weren't dealing with little bullshit. They wasn't taking committee votes and all these millions of people and everybody raised their hand. Moses wasn't doing that shit. This has been the order since the beginning. There's always a hierarchy. Always. That's how we handle things. So Eve's job was to support Adam. And so Adam was good so he could go out in the world and go do his job. He's dealing with the lions and the elephants and whatever, all that. He had to name everything. It took time. Every creepy crawly, everything he named. Whatever he looked at it and called it that, that's what his name was. Mm-hmm. So the story goes. With Eve, with her spirit, why I gotta do this? Why I can't go with Adam? Why I can't see what he doing? Who he talking to? Is there another girl out there? That spirit was always on her. The devil didn't put it in her head. She had it in her already. The devil just tapped into it. Because see, devil today is like a lot of men. They got that devilish spirit on them. And they sense the weakness that's already in you, ladies. They know how to tap right into it. Where your man at? Oh, that's what the devil did. The devil didn't come as a snake. He was a snake. Metaphorically, he came to her in the form of a man and got right in her ear. Yeah, baby, where your man at? Oh, word? Oh, wow, he out naming the animals, huh? For real? Why God just ain't name all the animals? He made them. No, that's crazy. Yeah, that's what he told you though, huh? And you got to do what? You got you got to make his food. Oh wow, he can't get his own food. He can name all the animals, but he can't get his own food. But what he was doing before you got here, let me ask you that. So he was naming the animals back then and getting his food then. Now you here, he can't do it. Huh? That's funny. This the devil was all in her ear. But you know what, right? If you go eat from that other tree, you're going to know everything they know. They ain't going to be able to keep no secrets from you. You're going to know good and evil. You're going to be like a god. Right? That's what Satan did. He got all in her ear. And yeah, you right. You right. Stop doing what she's supposed to do and went somewhere she wasn't supposed to be, being a busybody. Going from house to house, somewhere she wasn't supposed to go. She was astray. She had a mental disconnect. See how this coming back together? New Testament and Old Testament, ain't no difference. It's Timothy and Genesis saying the same shit. She went over there and ate that tree. Did like a lot of them do, like a lot of you do, because you can't be wrong by yourself. So Adam was accustomed to taking food from Eve without questioning it. So she gave him that and he ate it too. And then his eyes got open knowing shit he wasn't supposed to know. God gave him what he was supposed to know. He ain't know everything God knew though. So now his eyes got opened. And y'all know the rest of the story. God came looking for him and they was hiding, right? We're trying to hide. Eve sinned, but Adam didn't. But Adam was punished because he went against the order. He wasn't supposed to listen to Eve. He was punished for listening to Eve. That's not a sin. A sin is a transgression of the law. Eve broke the law. The law wasn't to eat from that tree. That was the law. But there was no law that it was just kind of a understood thing that you're supposed to rule over Eve. Eve is not supposed to rule over you. So that's what he got in trouble for. Right? So Eve got punished and introduced. Now Adam became mortal. Now he from dust to dust, and you shall return, and all of that stuff. He was immortal up until that point, and they got kicked out the garden. They had to go make babies. You know, he had to stay with Eve. He couldn't break up with her. He couldn't break up with her because she didn't fornicate. That was the only reason for divorce. This is before divorce. There was no fornication and adultery at this point. They were the only people on the earth. So he couldn't divorce her. There was no such thing at this point. He had to stay with her ass. I know he was mad at her ass because they lived hundreds of years and shit back then. I know he was mad at her ass like, bitch, you got us kicked out the garden because you just couldn't do what you were supposed to do. Boy, I would love to be a fly on the wall with that conversation. I wonder what the hell he said to her. No, he said something. They ain't write that part down. They ain't let us know. But boy, if I could go back in time and see that, I know he was laying in the hub, boy. Bitch. All you had to do was gather the fruit, pick up some leaves and shit, keep it organized while I was working. Eve didn't appreciate Adam. That's where I'm going with this. She didn't have no appreciation for Adam. He was out naming every animal on the earth. That was his job. That's a big job. She didn't appreciate Adam. Adam had wisdom. She didn't appreciate Adam for knowing things she didn't know. She wanted to know too. She couldn't just appreciate Adam like, this is my husband and he got me. A lot of y'all have that spirit on you today. Somebody be trying to tell you something for your own good because you don't understand or you don't like what you're hearing. You don't want to follow that leadership. That was put in place. Men didn't make this up. God made it up. He gave Adam the wisdom. Y'all got that in your spirit today. Y'all don't appreciate black men. And that's why y'all was complaining, just like Eve. She was a complainer. She wasn't content. That's bringing it back to the Philippians, right? She wasn't content with having a perfect man. Adam was perfect. He was a God. Okay? He wasn't the most high, but he was a God. She wasn't happy with a perfect man in a perfect place with perfect weather and perfect food. She wasn't content with that. Some of y'all are like that today. You're never happy. You're never happy. It's always a problem. Murmurings and disturbings and disruptions. And that's what causes you to err. It's that spiritual apathy manifesting itself. Causes you to err and bring forth monsters and kill those monsters and leave your husbands and not even see the value in your husband. That's what that feminism, because that Eve was the first glimmer of feminism on the planet. She wanted to have some independence. She wanted to have some understanding she wasn't meant to know. And it destroyed the garden. It destroyed paradise, our access to immortality in paradise. Right? Y'all got that spirit on you today. You don't appreciate your man. And that's why a lot of y'all are frustrated. That's why a lot of these complaints come because you're not under the hierarchy. You're not under anybody's leadership. You're not under any man's leadership. Leadership is a masculine trait. It's not a feminine trait. It's a masculine. That's why when you study language, certain words are masculine, certain words are feminine. So when you go back and study the language of the root words of masculine, of leadership, you're gonna find that's a masculine word. When you study the root words of following, being submissive, that's feminine. It's not by accident that those words have those traits associated with them. Never is a masculine word feminine in no language. It doesn't have a feminine trait. It's always masculine. If you understand my meaning. I want y'all when I talk about appreciate, and I want y'all to understand what I mean by appreciating a black man. So I shared the link to the Memphis um, sanitation workers videos. They went on strike in 1968, and I shared a part of the video where their wives are talking. The link is in the description. Go watch that video and listen to how those women spoke about their husbands. These were garbage men. These weren't high-value men. These were garbage men making $36 a week. But these women, they respected their husbands. They appreciated their husbands. Listen to how feminine they spoke. Listen, go back. See, this is 1968. This is prior. These are the women prior to the 70s. These are our grandmas and great grandmas speaking. Hear it with your own words. I want you to hear it with your own voice, just to hear these women talk. Fellas, avoid complainers. Avoid complainers. I'm sorry. It usually doesn't turn out good. These are the ones that complain. Every time you talk to them, every day is always a complaint about something. Like I said, ladies, embrace that you're going to have adversaries, adversarial forces coming at you. Just embrace it when you wake up. I know some bullshit coming at me. Just bring it and prepare yourself. You're going to be happier. You're going to start laughing at it. Yo, V told me this shit was going to happen. Or I told myself this morning this shit was going to happen. I knew somebody was coming for me, but I'm ready. I ain't going to let them tear me down. Take it, look at it like that. It ain't never going to be smooth sailing. Like I told you before in the last video, it's normal life shit. Some of y'all be complaining about bullshit. Listen to those women talk. These women were dealing, these are women during the civil rights era. They had to go to colored only bathrooms and deal with water hoses getting turned on them, and they ain't supposed to be out at a certain time. And they could die. Like real shit was going on. And he wasn't complaining. Y'all ain't got none of it. Y'all got it easier than any group of women in history on this planet. And you're fucking complaining about, oh, I work too many hours. I work all the time. You ain't even working more than 40 hours, most of you. You ain't working that much. You ain't cleaning no white people's house like these women was doing. Because, see, they had jobs too. Listen to them talk. They had jobs. Their husbands was on strike. They still had to have money coming in. Who you think that was? The women was holding it down while the men was striking. And they still took care of home and took care of the men. The woman told a story. Sometimes the husbands would come home covered in maggots, all in their hair and all over their body. And the wives would clean them up. These men had fourth-grade educations. They weren't high-value men. If they were lucky to have a fourth-grade education. Be content that you don't have to, they've gone through that struggle for us and you have an easier time or easier path than what they had. Be content. That's all I got for you. I hope y'all enjoyed this little Bible study. Subscribe to my video, please, on YouTube. Subscribe. Take time out to do it, please. All y'all always coming to me, asking me for more videos. How come you ain't did no video? And I didn't know some of y'all was even watching my videos. Because you ain't subscribed. I don't know, you know. All I'm asking is just do that. It takes one time. You ain't got to do it every time. Do it just one time. Subscribe to my video, to my YouTube channel. Like my Facebook page. Share my video. I'm trying to get these algorithms going. And if y'all like what I got to say, share that shit. Somebody else might get something out of it. But I appreciate y'all, man. And with that, I say shalom to the daughters of Sarah, to the brothers. Shalom. See y'all next time. Peace.